Hi all, welcome to our last week and the last Edpuzzle. Last time you're going to have to see my face for a while if you're in the HSA program, and potentially the last time you'll have to listen to me at all if you're not in our program. So just wanted to, I'll keep this really brief this week. Just wanted to comment quickly about the biopsy issue. Good work in the discussion last week. But just in case you didn't get back in to see some of the commentary, just want to make sure folks know. So with a biopsy, a lot of times they'll do a biopsy for diagnostic purposes. So probably the easiest way to think about it is with perhaps a breast biopsy. So sometimes they'll do what they call a needle core biopsy, meaning they'll take just a needle's worth. They're a pretty sizable bore needle, so not like a needle they would use to draw blood, but a wider bore, a bigger around needle. So they'll do what they call a needle core biopsy. They'll go in and take out that amount of tissue to test. So that's going to be what is a diagnostic biopsy. They'll test that tissue, and then they'll go back in and do a lumpectomy or maybe a mastectomy if need be. But sometimes they'll do what's called an excisional biopsy. And an excisional biopsy could be a lumpectomy. They'll take out the whole lump, the whole problem area. And when they do that, a lot of times they'll do that if the lump looks very suspicious, especially with the really advanced imaging we have now with 3D mammography, very advanced imaging, they can get a look at that and say, that looks really suspicious. I want to get as much of that out of there as I can right away. And be able to test that. So they'll do what's called an excisional biopsy, which is when they'll actually go in, cut in, take out that whole piece of tissue and test all of it. Sometimes it gives them a better picture of exactly what's going on too with an excisional biopsy. So even though it's still a biopsy, it's considered a therapeutic or a procedure, an actual therapeutic or treatment type procedure. The other thing to keep in mind, and I don't want to confuse this any further, but keep in mind that in a facility or anywhere actually, all tissue goes to the lab for testing. So anytime you have tissue removed from you, that is always going to go to the lab for testing. So let's say you have a attack of appendicitis, and you have your appendix out. Even though I'm sure they're not concerned that you have cancer in your appendix. They're still going to send that to the lab and test it. They're not looking for cancer. They just anytime tissue is removed from a human specimen like that, it has to go to the laboratory for testing. That's just a requirement. You have to have pathology done on tissue. That's just it's a Joint Commission requirement. It's a state health department requirement. It's just part of the deal. So even though something's not a biopsy at times, it's still going to go to the lab for testing. So don't assume that everything that goes to the lab for testing is a biopsy, because sometimes you may just have a regular procedure. It's going to go to the lab for testing. Okay, so I just wanted to call your attention. I did mention this in the announcement for the week, but just in case you haven't seen it, we do have a final exam in this class. It's way down here at the bottom, so it'll appear right below this video. So the final exam is timed, and you get one shot at it. So once you open it, that's it. So it's a 2-hour test. It's 50 questions, multiple choice and short answer, and like I said, you get a 2-hour time frame to take it, and it's just on the medical terminology stuff. So it's just the kind of stuff that we've been doing over the past 4 weeks in medical terminology, and I think I already said this, 50 points, or 50, well, it's 50 points, 50 questions. So so be sure to kind of prepare yourself, take a look at the information, etc. But the big issue is that it is timed and you get one shot. So so don't try. Make sure you have enough time to get through the entire exam when you take the take the time to go out and do it. Make sure you have time to get through the whole thing. It may not take you um, the entire 2 hours, but it is a 2 hour timed setting. So, so I think that's it. That's all I've got. You've got the discussion post this week, the Evolve assignment, the exam, and then you do have some commentary on last week's blog as well. So, and then obviously this assignment, your Edpuzzle. So, a few assignments this week, and remember that the weekend's on Friday. So, we are done Friday midnight because we have to get rolling on. Pay no attention to my husband's message. We had to get rolling. We have to get rolling um, on our grading for to move into the break. So grades are due early next week because we have students that are graduating. So so we do need to get grades in right away. So so I think that's all I've got. And if anyone has any questions on any of the material or on the final exam, then please let me know. But it's been a pleasure working with everyone. Hopefully you've enjoyed the course. You've picked up a few things. And I want to wish everyone a wonderful break. Happy holiday season. Happy New Year. And hopefully and I'll know I'll see some of you because I know you're in our program. For those of you that aren't in our program, I wish you the best in your programs. Feel free to come back and take some more of our courses in our program. And I do wish you the best in your field of study as well. Okay, thanks so much, everyone.